Well, hello, welcome back to Crochet Creations and another vlogaday video. This one is gonna be, well, you've already heard about it, but this one's gonna be for me to use up some baby yarn scraps. So I'm gonna just show you. I got a bunch, and don't forget, if you have any scraps of white, that'd be good too for this pattern, because sometimes, you know, you might want to break up some of these kind of different colors that you might have left that you want to use in this pattern. So, you know, go through and throw all your scraps in a bucket, and they're going to look great together. We're going to do something with them instead of just letting them sit. I have lots of these little ones too, like this, which this might end up being just one row, and you'll have, well, we'll show you in just a second. So I'm getting my ends all messed up here. I've got different threes in here. I've got a little bit of cotton thrown in. Whatever's in there is in there, right? Again, I am going to be using my 7 for this one. It's my favorite hook, so why not? And I guess I wasn't prepared. Again, it's my 7, Susan Bates. And if you go by numbers, it's a 4.5 millimeter. Okay, so I've already started, and I've already even told you about it, but we're going to go ahead and tell you the specs real quick. So I'm planning on trying to do the majority of the rows, two rows of one color and 2 rows of another color. And once in a while, I'm going to throw in one row, because that's what's going to give it character. Everyone's is going to be different. So we're going to go ahead and chain 168 chains with our hook of desired hook, whatever it is. 168 chains. And then I went ahead and closed what I was reading. I already did that, so I'm going to go ahead and lay my pattern down, or my project, I should say, down on the table and show you that it is going to be a ripple. Now, the ones that are following along already know that I started this. Now, if you can see, there's texture. There's going to be a lot of texture, because you're going to use the back loops of your stitches. My suggestion is to go through both loops if you can on your last stitch. So, but during your pattern, you're going to go through the back loop. So 168 stitches to start it. Then you're going to do 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook on your first row. Then you're going to double crochet in the next 5. So this is the row that we're talking about, this row here. You're going to do 2 doubles in the first, which is the 4th chain from your hook. Then double crochet in the next 5. Then we're going to skip 2. Then we're going to double crochet in the next 6. Right? No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. I was right. I was right. 6. Then at the top of your peak will be the next stitch. It'll be 3 doubles in the next stitch. Then you're going to go back down again. 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Well, I don't know. I didn't. I counted that wrong. It's 6. It's 6, skip 2, 6 up, 3 at the top, 6 down, skip 2, 6 up, 3 at the top. And when you're doing this, if you need to put a bobby pin or a stitch marker into the top one so that you remember that that's your top one, then do that. If you're a beginner and you need to do that, then do it. So when you're going along and you're watching TV, if you have a stitch marker in each of the peaks, you won't make a mistake. But we're going to be using the back loops. But the first row, we're going to do that. Then when we get 6, 6, top, 6 down, skip 2, 6 top, 6 to the top, 3 at the top, 6 down, skip 2. The last one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 doubles in your last chain. And that is how it makes it do this ripple and come out correct. So every time there's a ripple, you will add 1 at the edge, 1 at the top, 1 at the top, 1 at the top. So every ripple gets 2 added. And that's how, when you skip 2 at the bottom, that it stays even. So what I'm doing is I'm going along with 2 rows of the blue, and then I snuck in a colored row. See that variegated row? And I left it as 1. And then I went on to a white row, which evens out the 2 rows. Now I'm going to do 2 of the pink rows. So let's go ahead and work on the rest of this row together, just so you can see my, well, I guess I have to dig out my yarn now because dummy me flung it in there with all the scraps on top. Jeez. All right, we got it. So these weren't full skeins, and I figured that that would be okay, because then you'll have 3 or 4 that are almost a full skein, and it can take up a lot of some of the color. You won't be as much of scraps as some of the ones that have like no yarn to them at all. You know. So we're going to go ahead and do your back loop only, and we're going to still be doing 6. And again, you want to grab a hold of your work, which means if you pinch it with these 2 fingers, you won't be making such big gaps, because you're only catching that one back loop. If you try and be very gentle and not yank on it too much, it won't stretch it out as much. And then as soon as you get down to your bottom, you're going to skip 2, go into your next one, and it does leave a gap there, but it's a nice little idea for giving texture. And this blanket can be for a girl or a boy, and just be in somebody's stash. And then when you need an item, there's your middle one. That's the one that gets 3 doubles. When you need an item, then you pull it out, and it doesn't matter if it's a girl or boy that gets it, and you can gift it. So just keep going. And then what I'm doing is, when I get to the end of a color that I'm going to change color, I am going to weave in my ends right away, so that way I don't have all of them to do at the end. Because there's nothing worse. I've already said that before, and I know that a lot of people do it at the end, and I don't know how they can stand it. This is really soft too, all these baby yarns. Okay, we'll get up here to the peak and make sure there's 6, 3, 6, and then do 3 in the peak. So when I get, like I said, when I get down to, let's put this back in here so I don't forget about it. When I get down here at the end, there is going to be, a lot of you will start out your next color with a chain 3. You can do it either way. You can put it in there, chain 1, and just do a double, whatever way you decide. Oh, and by the way, I always mark my blankets and projects with the letter of the hook size that I'm using. So that is an S on there for 7. And anyway, when you get to the end, in your last stitch, which will be the top of your chain 3, if that's the way you're doing it, you're going to do 2 in that last. But if it isn't, if it's a double crochet, you'll do it through both loops to make sure that your edges aren't real loose and wobbly. And then go ahead and start your new color on the next row. And just make sure that you do 2 on each of the very first stitches. And then what I'm going to do is 2 rows of pink. Alright, well, that's what I'm working on tonight. And I'm doing a vlog-a-day for July, and I will show this again in a couple days or whenever I feel like working on it and giving you an update that I have worked on it. Take a moment out of each day, be creative, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.